What is up, guys? I'm going to give you guys some statistics. This is the first part of the video. I'm going to have a second part of the video and talk to you guys or show you guys the public speaking event I did today out on the streets. There's some street preaching, exposing of the lies that I did today with my brother Mark that I did today. But I didn't get the chance to talk about the statistics like I wanted to, a little bit vague. And the reason for that was because the speaker ended up going bad, need to buy a mic, etc., etc. So anyways, I figured I'd do something before to label these statistics that I was talking about when I was speaking out today in Summerlin. This is from Statistica 2020. This is some of the lies, the blatant lies that supposedly come from Black Lives Matter and the whole narrative that this country is racist, that Black lives are being killed way more than any other race, and that we're being targeted more. This is a blatant lie. Again, Statistica 2020, just to show you guys right here so you can see, maybe you can see that. I'm not sure if you can, but here it is. Check that out. I'll read it off to you. It says here, numbers of people shot to death by the police in the United States of America from 2017 to 2020 by race. 2017, white people, 457 deaths. Blacks, 223. Hispanics, 179. Others, 44. So, really, there should be a White Lives Matter protest going on right now. 457 people in 2017. And listen, I'm not the kind of person that's saying that the police targeted these people. No. All I'm doing is pointing out the specific point that black people are not being targeted drastically way out of proportion than white people. That's a blatant lie. 2018, white people, 399. Black people, 209. 2019, 370 for whites. Blacks, 235. 2020, 215, blacks, 111. So it's very clear that those people that do not comply and put the police officers' lives in the line for not complying, every time you don't comply, it puts the risk of the police officer in jeopardy. Okay, this is insane that I have to explain this. This is not common sense. But whenever you create the narrative that the mainstream media creates and that BLM creates, that police officers are the enemy, that they're a terrorist organization, that they're a gang, that every time you get pulled over and it's a white cop, you need to fear for your life because you will probably get murdered because he has racist intent in every single situation and every single circumstance, blah, blah, blah. This is a lie, okay? This is a lie. If you just shut up, comply, have empathy for the police officers and the thousands and thousands of high-risk situations that they're put on. There are people out there that they don't care about life. They will murder anyone that wants to arrest them, right? Whenever someone's going to prison, they act rebellious. They'll do whatever they need to do to avoid going to prison and being arrested by the cops. And this is when things get complicated, all right? If someone is wanted for murder and a cop is going to arrest them, that person is not just going to be very compliant and say, sure, yeah, I know I'm going to life in prison for murder. You guys finally caught me. Sure, all right, go ahead and arrest me. Most of the time, it's a do-or-die situation. They're going to kill the cops versus complying and being arrested and serving life in prison, all right? This is one situation. This is one of many circumstances police officers are put in. The Breonna Taylor case. This is an example of that. This is an example of a blatant lie the mainstream media says. That Breonna Taylor was sleeping peacefully, that she was a good citizen, law-abiding citizen. How can you do this to Breonna Taylor? Lies. Breonna Taylor was in the hallway. If you guys read Tatum reports, Officer Tatum, look him up on YouTube. He's debunked this case multiple times. He's an officer, done his own research, looks at the evidence, and has concluded that it was justified. Okay? Using this case as an example, the police officers had a no-knock warrant. They notified the people there that, hey, this is the police. The individual, I think Breonna Taylor's boyfriend at the time, they were both selling drugs. Breonna Taylor was part of the business of selling drugs as well. Police officers came in. Once the boyfriend found out there were police officers in, he shot first at the police. Police returned fire out of self-defense. Breonna Taylor got caught in the crossfire. Okay? Now, what did the media tell you? Peaceful, they were chilling, Breonna Taylor was a good citizen, just the list of lies. It's insane. So there we go. We have two lies that I just debunked there, and why I'm frustrated with the whole making police officers feel like they don't want to be police officers, that they are criminals, that every single one of them is malicious, that we can't trust them. Listen, their job is extremely difficult. Every single day, there is no guarantee that they won't get their heads blown off, like what happened on the Strip. Police officer got shot in the head, execution style. I think he's paralyzed. Somehow survived. What other job? Tell me what job you do that is protecting the people and that shows that you're willing to sacrifice your life for law and order and protect you and your children. For the people out there that make the claim that, well, the police officers have done it differently. Okay, well, how about you be part of the chain? Be part of the change. Make the changes. Most people that become police officers that are minorities, they say, I want to be part of the change. Then they get in there and they realize how freaking complicated the job is. Because you're dealing with people on fentanyl and drugs and people that are going to be spending life in prison. And it gets very complicated after that, right? I already made the point about the whole numbers of deaths killed by cops, right? And that doesn't prove anything saying that cops are bad people. All it's doing is making the point that a lot of people get caught in the crossfire. It's a very complicated situation, and that humans are imperfect and they will make mistakes, right? And we should have tolerance, we should have compassion, we should have empathy, and realize it's an extremely dangerous job, and there are people out here that are absolute criminals, they're thugs, they don't care about your life, no one's life, not even their life. And those people are very hard to arrest. So I made another point in my speech out today talking about the whole white culture stuff, all right? This is a little it's from the National Museum of African American History and Cultures. They actually took this down, but this was up. This is talking about whiteness, white culture in the United States that is automatically and should be labeled as racist. Ridiculous. And they labeled this. Look, listen. These are the things that are considered racist and BLM believes this crap. This is what's being taught in our schools in this thing called critical race theory. I call it cynical race theory. That's what it is. It's called cynical race theory. But they think it's like supposed to be something that's constructive and brings people together. No, it doesn't. It makes people cynical. It's delusional. So the one of the things that's racist is self-reliance, independence. Individuals assume to be control of their environment. Quote, you get what you deserve, end quote. The nuclear family, father, mother, 2 to 3 children. Having children is considered white appropriation. It's considered racist. Something that should be abolished. Husband is the breadwinner and the head of the household. Wife is the homemaker and subordinate to the husband. If you're a believer of God, this is literally polar opposite of what the Bible teaches. Literally is what it is. Hard work is key to success. Work before you play. Nonsense. Plan for the future. Delayed gratification. All considered white culture. And black people shouldn't abide by it. Justice. Based on the English common law. Protect property entitlement. Intent counts. Competition. I think competition should be abolished. I think competition is racist. Win at all cost. Win/lose dichotomy. There should be no losers. Well, goodbye the NBA and NFL. Michael Jordan, you're no longer a great. Michael Jordan, you're champions. You were a racist. Action orientation, master and control, extroversion, decision making, majority rules. This is insane. This is a joke. This is why I spoke today. Anyways, I just want to give you guys a little tease and opener. My battery's about to die. Thank you guys, and God bless. And there we are. All right, I'll start.
Okay, brother. Wait, let's pray. Father, we thank this blessing is today. We thank you for what you entrusted to us. And we walk with you all day today, God. May you forgive us of any sin and true transgression and give us blood of Jesus Christ. God, let the ears hear and the eyes see what it is that you have been ready to touch hearts today to us.
That one's yours, right? Praise the Lord. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hello, Summerlin, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a Nevada citizen. I've been here for about 2 years. I love this state. I love America. I'm a patriot. I am a veteran. Today I'm exercising my First Amendment right of free speech in a world now that's full of lies and misinformation. We have seen today that the mainstream news media cannot be trusted no longer. The local news media cannot be trusted no longer. Their main objective today is to divide and conquer the people of the United States of America. No longer should we as American citizens abide by these lies. No longer shall we be sheeps. No longer shall we be misinformed, using identity politics, separating us by race. We are all Americans. I may be a black American, but I am an American first. I am a person of God. This country is a place of God. God bless America. I am tired of seeing the brainwashing going on in the schools, the shutting down of the churches, but allowing weed shops, casinos to be open. This is their priority. Poison us, take us away from God, and allow us to be isolated. The idling mind is the devil's playground. This is why suicide is through the roof. 1 out of 4 millennials is on antidepressants. Let me give you some statistics here so you can see where I'm getting this information from, because I'm not just spewing these things out of lies. Per 1% of unemployment, suicide rates go up 1.4%. This is showing you the consequence of shutdowns. This is what the mainstream media, the local news, does not inform you about. The suicides, the depression, the overdose on drugs, child abuse, marriages being destroyed. And today I have a message to call out and debunk a lot of these quote-unquote movements that claim to care about me and the oppression that's going on, supposedly, claiming that this country is racist, claiming that the founding fathers, the Constitution, is a racist piece of documentation and there's nothing other than that. Those are lies. We're starting to see these terrorist groups, these movements that claim to want to protect me as a black man. I don't agree with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, the organization, has been responsible for over 30 murders, over $2 billion worth of local damages happening in the United States of America. I can no longer live with these lies. People are dying because of the confusion. They don't know who to trust. They feel that they are oppressing or they are racist without having to do anything. If you guys haven't done research on who Black Lives Matter is, coming from a black man that does not agree with Black Lives Matter, one of their demands they want to do is destroy the nuclear family. They say the nuclear family is part of white culture, white appropriation. It can't work with the black community. All of these things is labeled as a skin tone versus American values, versus godly values. Again, we are a country of God. We are a country that abides by the Bible. Judeo-Christian values. It's very clear. God does not see skin tone, and neither shall we as a country or a nation of God. And I am tired of seeing this happen. No longer shall we be divided. People being manipulated by fear-mongering and playing of the numbers. These people are thugs and they cannot be trusted, and today I speak on the behalf against these people, and I rebuke you people. Again, just to give you some numbers here, the riots and the looting that we've been seeing here, quote-unquote peaceful protests, as CNN will call it, there was a reporter that there was a burning building behind them. And they had the wherewithal to say, yeah, it's peaceful protests, as you can see here, but the building burning behind me. Absolute disgrace. This is not what peaceful protest is. This is not what America is. This is not what Martin Luther King died for. And I'm here to call that out. I cannot live in a country like this. I can't have kids in a country like this. And I know all of you see this. All of you know this. It's deep inside your heart and minds. But I understand. Fear is a very powerful tool to control you, to make you feel powerless. But this is why we need God. God makes you fearless. Be a person of God. Be a vessel of God. I want to give all the credit to what I'm doing right now to God. This has nothing to do about me. This has to do about being a person of God. God is allowing me to do what I'm doing today, and I pray that He allows people to listen to the lights, listen to what I am speaking today. We are all looking for hope. I want to be part of the hope, because we get bombarded with hopelessness, demoralizing, depressing things every second of the day from the mainstream media. Do you guys not see this red flag, this type of control, fear-mongering? They don't report anything positive anymore. And the biggest thing that makes me angry, that frustrates me, is the people that claim to want to help me out. Again, this whole year of rioting and looting, the worst in America's history, under the name of police brutality. I support the police. We need police. I've been in a country, my parents are raised for a third world country, where police officers do not respect anything. That they are truly corrupt. You have to pay them off to get off the tickets. They're part of the cartel. They sell drugs. The police don't respect people in other countries. You guys don't realize how good you have it here in America. In other countries where there's no police, where you don't have the right to have a Second Amendment to bear arms, and you people here are giving it away out of fear, out of control, out of manipulation. I know we're not a country that's perfect. We can definitely work on that. But being isolated, being divided, blaming, yelling, murdering is not the answer. We need to communicate. This is why we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech. And we have people like Google, YouTube, Facebook that is bringing that down, taking that away, censoring these people. Quote unquote, fact-checking. All they're doing is fact-checking and twisting information. Who are they to control my speech? Who do they think they are? Playing God, controlling my speech. Listen, I've done multiple research at the time that I've gone through here.
and under the name of Black Lives Matter, having 20 plus murders because of the burning, the injustice, the people that think that we have to murder police officers to receive justice, that the only type of justice is a dead cop. What kind of justice is that? How are we supposed to unite as a country when we think the solution is murdering more police officers? And you know who's putting gasoline in these narratives, these stories that are being pushed out? The mainstream media. And I feel sorry for people here because, listen, most people have good intentions. They just listen to the mainstream media and they don't know any better. And I'm here to give you alternative facts and evidence that they don't want you to hear. That if I post any of these things on Instagram and Facebook, I'm labeled as a racist. Labeled as a racist. As a black man in America. Again, who are they to tell me what is right or wrong? Why do they care so much about that information? If it's false, allow it to be false. And it never was this way. Years ago, we were able to speak freely in these platforms. But now, 2020 is an interesting year. Now they care about black people speaking against Black Lives Matter. They label us Uncle Toms. They label us bootlickers. They label us that we're a disgrace to the black community, as if it's some cult of some sort. Don't we live in the United States of America? I'm an American. I know more about American culture than anything else. And I know about other cultures, and I know how much of a disgrace it is to be in those other countries as well. And I pray to God today that just give me an ear. That's all I'll do. I'm not being paid off by anybody. I'm just a regular citizen that is tired of what's going on. And I know I'm not the only one that is tired of the lies. I'm going to give you guys some more statistics that I spew out today. I'm going to give you guys actually a story too. Before I came here, I talked to the police. I told them, hey, I'm a black man. I'm a patriot. I'm American. I'm proud to be in this country. Today I'm going to be using my First Amendment right and speak against these lies. They told me, God bless you. We support you. Thank you for doing this. They're not receiving any support. How far do you want to demoralize and demean the police officers before no one wants to be a police officer in this country? Do you want to get to that point? Do you want to have to self-protect yourself everywhere you go? Do you know what happens at night? Do you know in the Vegas Strip there has been a consistent shooting for the past couple weeks? A shooting, a stabbing, a fighting. This is the consequence of instilling violence and more fear. I don't want to get to the point to where police officers say, I can't be a police officer anymore. What's the point? No one respects me. They see me as someone that wants to murder them. I can't do my job. This is a crossroads that everyone needs to realize right now. And this is for people that think the police are racist, they're out targeting people that look like me. That's a lie. The media is spewing this narrative and it's a flat lie. We need to wake up. The statistics do not line up with that narrative. That means it's a blatant lie. And they have an objective. Who knows who they're being paid off? Who knows what their objective? There's rumors of Marxism, of communism, of socialism. You don't want a country like that. If you want a country like that, go to China. Go to Cuba. Go to Venezuela. They have no food. There's no police. And I'm here to avoid that chaos before it begins.